What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awaken and my revisiting in 2023. Today's episode will wrap up our Apprentice miniseries, and with that in mind, we're going to continue along where we left off and jump right on into Endless Spires. Now, before we get to that, I wanted to discuss one more time just how to mix things up and to gain just absurd amounts of power if you're a new player and your goal is to progress through to endgame a little bit quicker. And that is without a doubt by doing survivals. Now, each time you run a campaign map, you see we've got all the way through until the throne room run now. You are going to unlock that map in survival, which means you can jump in and do a survival. Now, this is an endless mode. You can go through and do as long as you want. However, just going from like wave 20 and up is going to drop the best possible gear that you can get in that particular map and is also going to give you the most experience. So, like for me, if I was trying to go through and speed run to end game or speed run the massacre mode, what I would do is start off by doing the first two maps and then switch over and do Ancient Mines Survival. By doing Ancient Mines Survival, it's going to give me enough XP and enough gear just to blast through the entirety of the rest of the content as I get into the next tiers. Now, of course, we want to get to Nightmare Mode next. However, remember, the unlocks are across the basics of the board for medium and hard mode. So although we've been playing through on hard mode, on medium mode, we now have the hard mode unlocks complete as well. Now, to get insane mode unlocks, we've got to go through and beat the summit map, which we're not quite there yet, but that's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to unlock the entirety of the campaign for us, which in turn is going to unlock those survival maps. So survival gives you a bunch of gold, a bunch of good loot, much better than what you're getting in campaign in the later waves, and just tons of experience to get leveled up. Now, also with that in mind, it does take, say an hour to run through the first 25 waves of Ancient Mines Survival. Going through and beating that map is also going to give you a giraffe, which is an incredible stat stick for a first pet. And it just makes progressing the rest of the way trivial. Now, if you're wanting to just blast through the experience and make the climb a little bit trivial, that is the way to go. However, it also will make it a little bit on the boring side if you're not looking for that experience. So let's just play right on through the campaign without doing the survival shortcuts. And next up, we have got the Endless Spires. Let's hop on in and get it done. Now, I went through and I got my points applied. We're up to 48 power now. We got 30 range and then 36 rate. Of course, we're getting that extra little bit of range from our accessories. And in fact, we actually have a new accessory to equip now, which is going to fluff up those stats even a little bit more. Now, let's see. What do we have to start with? We've got 500 on this one to start with, which is quite nice. And how do we want to do it? Let's go, I think we want to go with some Flame Bursts and DSTs, huh? Imagine that. Let's just go with one Flame Burst there. We'll go with one, say, right here. And then another, say, right here, just to get things started. We actually leaves 260 left, so we can get a little bit more juice down. So why don't we get a DST in, say like that. And what else? Well, we can go with some walls. I never reallocated my Spires points as we got a little bit more fort here. Let's see, we could put, say, a wall in, like maybe right there. Another one in, say, right here. And then let's check the ranges of this Flame Burst. Well, let's just go with another one right at the base of the stair, like right there. Alright, let's go ahead and let it fly here. Now remember, we do have that upgraded weapon. We'll be able to use this for a while, really, until the damage starts to fall off on it. And this is going to just make it so we can just blaze through these packs of enemies. So we should have no problem at all getting through the trash bombs here as this map progresses. Now, this is a bigger map. It does have a little ways for enemies to run. With that in mind, it makes the DST just an incredible choice, as remember, the DST has that big range, but it also shoots through walls. So it's going to allow us an opportunity to really get up in some of these lanes and get the enemies dying a little bit quicker. Once we have much bigger range than what we have now, once we get some survival gear, we'll be able to just do this map with just one DST stack and then just tower boost it all, which is just an incredible experience. That is for sure. Let's see. Let's go another DS. We'll go with a DST there. We'll get another one, say here. And then let's get even one more, say right here. Now this one I'm going to angle it over so it is hitting the enemies that are coming up that way a little bit further. And then we've got a little bit of DU left. Let's go ahead and get some buff beams in. You know what? How do we want to do this? Let's prepare for a little bit of a double stack. So let's just go with a big buff beam right there. And we'll go with some smaller buff beams here. And then we'll do the same thing right, say right here. It uses up all of our available mana, so let's just let it fly here. And we're going to find that these enemies are going to be getting wrecked pretty darn good now, as we just got a little bit more power in there. Now, we can also set DSTs up to handle the flyer lanes, assuming we have flyers coming in on this one. I'm not sure on medium mode if we end up getting flyers or not. But the other benefit there is, remember, the DST shoots through walls, so if there's an enemy down there on that path, a DST here pointed that way will shoot that enemy right through the wall. So, good stuff. It looks like we do have flyers here on medium mode. So, a little DST action to help with those flyers could potentially go a long way. You see, just getting through the bulk of the enemies, though, that upgraded weapon it just chews them up. So we're able to get through everything but the ogres just really fast just by spraying them down. Got some kobolds slow rolling it here. These guys do have a long way to walk. Let me check the ranges on my DST now. We actually have pretty decent range. Let's go with one facing like that way. That will help with the flyers and help clear the enemies in the lower lanes out a little quicker. And then we'll go with one facing this way as well. That'll give us a little bit of ground clear down below. Now, I did equip that explosive rune for the DST. So, with that in mind, all of these DST shots are exploding on the enemies and doing a little bit more damage. We still have 35 DU left, though. I mean, we could take that even one step further and go, let's go one more face like that. And then we'll go with one faced, say, like that. That's going to leave still a ton of DU left. Let's get a buff beam down through all this stuff. And I do want to make sure that these are firing, so I'll have to keep an eye on those. We actually have 13 left still, so this map is quite generous with the DU. There is no doubt about it there. But let's continue and let it fly here to make sure these DSTs are getting shots in. My range is just a little bit suspect. It's right at the limit of being able to reach down there. And it looks like they are getting some shots in. So good stuff there. In fact, we can even probably boost it out a little bit on this stack and get these shots firing a little bit faster even. Everything's getting chewed up pretty nicely, but not having, like, getting a little bit more range down here would be huge. So I think I'll prioritize upgrading those DSTs just to get a little bit more range on them. Get them hewing into the lanes a little better here. But this particular map, like I said, it's long lanes. The enemies have a long way to walk. And with that in mind, you know, since they do only come out just a few at a time, it does take a little while to get through this one. I actually got enough for an upgrade on each one of these, so let's just go ahead and do that while we're getting through the rest of the wave. Don't fall in the hole. I can assure you, I have tested many times, and there is indeed no loot down there. That is for sure. Yeah, DST's hitting for 13,000, 13.7. It's just going to annihilate everything that comes up through those lower lanes. And then, once again, the more range we get, the better off that's going to be even. We got 3 more enemies left. Looks like they're coming out one at a time. Actually, we got one right here. A little guy snuck down and was in a little bit of a cheeky spot there. Doesn't look like he did really much damage, though. Alright, so we got 13 left. What do we want to do with our 13? We can throw some meme stuff in just for fun. Let's go, actually, let's go with another Flame Burst. Or, you know what? We want to get an LT down here. The range is going to be pretty suspect on this LT. Yeah, I don't think an LT is going to work out. The range is just not going to make it there. So, what do we want to do? Unsure. Let's go with, yet another DST. That's going to leave me 5. Once again, we want to use all of our DU. And that is the struggle right now, is I'm not using the DU. We've got 1 left over. I tell you what I'll do. Just to use up the DU, we'll throw just 1 elemental blockade, say, over here. Out of the way, just to make sure all of our defense units are being used and we get that XP bonus. And then now we can get 1 more upgrade on this one for a little bit more range. We'll go 1 more on that one. And then get these magic missiles upgraded a little. Give those a little range. The magic missiles actually have pretty crazy range scaling with upgrades. So that is one that you would want to upgrade for sure. We got an ogre rolling in here. Let's not take a snot ball to the face. Let's see how that ogre fares with just these side lane DSTs. Oh, he just got smacked. Wow. Sorry, ogre. You didn't deserve all that. We got another one coming from this side. Looks like he's getting slapped as well. Yeah, just getting mashed up. Ralph the Goblin King was no match for the mighty DST. And actually, it could have gone with some reflect beams here. You see we're taking a little damage. That's from those ogre snotballs. Hopefully it's not going to be strong enough for them to kill anything or take out any of my towers here, but a reflect beam would have gone a long way here, that is for sure. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to get rid of this and just put a 1D reflect beam here, just to make sure we don't have any issues in the final wave here. Just help speed the process a little here and get some of these mobs burned out. Plenty of mobs coming out. Of course, as you go into higher difficulties, the enemies get a movement speed buff, which that increased movement speed is quite nice for getting through these slower running maps a little bit quicker. But, of course, you know, we are playing on medium mode, so with that in mind, if you're playing on medium mode, you're probably expecting more of a new player experience. And those slow-moving enemies might actually be helping you out in that case. We got 2 more orcs coming in down below. Looks like they're about... yeah. Oh, the explosion from that DST took out that second orc. That is impressive. So let's see. Let's get a little bit more range on these DSTs. We'll upgrade that one and that one. It leaves us enough for only 1 upgrade. Let's throw the 1 upgrade on right there. And let's just let it fly here. Final wave. Oop, forgot to move in and put that reflect beam in. Let me not shoot this ogre. And just see how it goes. I'm sure he's going to get slapped. Oh, the DST explosion. Yeah. Spanky the Giggly was super spanked. Quite well here. I think we just have to wait it out. Just wait for the enemies to come out. Can stay down here and get a little bit of damage in. Just to speed the process on this lower side. We're almost to the halfway point. Let's see, let's go ahead and go another upgrade on that one. Get another upgrade here. And then I think we're in a position here where we can just overcharge boost through the remainder of the wave. You see we got an ogre coming in on that side. I do want to be cautious of that guy. If he throws a snot ball at me over here, I might be in trouble without having any sort of reflect beam in. Looks like he got slapped. And once again, still tons of enemies out on the map. We just got to wait for him to run down those long lanes. We are just about there. This is another really good survival map to run here. Of course, you get the Monkey King as the pet reward for this one, which is quite nice for a melee range DPS pet. It's just ideal for the Squire if you're looking for a little bit more melee range damage. And just about there. Now, that will finish up this run and this mini-series. So next up, we are moving over to the Huntress or the Monk. Plan on doing either or. I mean, I would be more than happy doing either the Huntress or the Monk. So let me know down in the comments below which hero you want to see spotlighted next. I'll be starting off. Right now, I plan on doing the Huntress, but if enough people want Monk, then, of course, I'll do Monk. Completely up to you all at this point. Just let me know down in the comments below which you would like to see. After that, we will go through all of the additional heroes. Wanted to make sure to cover the base 4 starting off right out of the gates, but we will get to all the heroes in time. But that will do it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.